Good morning, everybody. Pleasure and honor to be here. Quick correction, I'm just a plain Anand Sudarshan, not a doctor Anand Sudarshan. The only PhD that I have against my name is what my IT support person gave me many, many years ago. When I had a query, he said, press here, dummy. And so that's the only PhD that I have. But it's a pleasure and honor to be here, part of this office panel. A pleasure introducing the rest of the panel members very quickly to you. On the extreme right, we have a very distinguished person, Dr. Vasan. Professor Vasan has been a part of Illinois Institute of Technology for several years and has been instrumental in a lot of initiatives, many of them related to or connected with India. And he's going to speak about one or two of them, so I won't mention what they are right now. But suffice to say that the initiative that he will speak about is one that he had started after a conversation that he had with Dr. Sam Pitroda, which, as you all know, who's the father of many things in India, not just telecommunications, but innovations and many of the initiatives in India. It's going to be exciting to hear that from him. On my right, I have Professor Jane Shukoske. Jane has been is currently at the Baltimore School of Law, but for many years was part of USEF, driving the well-known Fulbright Scholar programs and other programs in India, across India. And she's also been involved as an advisor, and I presume as a core member of the team that actually set it up. Very unique and innovative collaborative partnership in India, again about which I will ask Jane to cover as we speak. Because these are all good examples of the way when we talk about opportunities for service providers in India. And as I just want to highlight the phrase service provider, we have chosen to cover people who provide services as well as education institutions. So it's a broad umbrella that we're going to be covering under the phrase service provider. So these innovative examples and collaboration are going to come in very handy in understanding what the various things that we have. On my left is Rajika Bhandari. Rajika is Deputy Vice President Research and Evaluation at IIE, which is the Institute of International Education. I've had many interactions with IIE, which has been doing some seminal work, international education overall, of course, but very specifically related to India. And we have had a chance to bump into each other. Anand, the President, Rajika, others over the last several years in conferences in India. And I know that some of the initiatives that they have been focusing on have all been to make sure that US institutions have a good idea and a good understanding of the manner in which they can address the Indian marketplace and actually get into relationships and collaborations with Indian institutions. So I'm going to request Rajika to speak about that as well. To set the tone and the foundation in a forum like this, I just want to repeat a few things. The statistical background is something that you're all aware of, how big India is, the demographic dividend and all of that good stuff. It isn't improper to touch upon a few of them just to set the context in place. And just to substantiate one statement that I would like to make right at the beginning, which is India is a humongous opportunity. It's an opportunity in education. I'm purely talking from an education perspective here. Sure, there's an opportunity for many other things, but this is really for education. This is an opportunity the likes of which, is probably not going to come too many times in the future. In the history of time, when the time goes by in history, this is going to be a moment which is going to, in years to come, decades to come, they look back and look at this period, I'm sure they will say, this was the period, the window that was available for India to transform itself through education. Now, at that point in time, whether they're going to say that was fantastic, they took advantage of it, the US institutions and the Indian institutions did, and they did a great job, or they're going to turn around and say, such a wonderful opportunity was there, they really messed it up. I have no idea. As Alan Kay once said, the best way to predict the future is to invent it, and we have the opportunity to do so. And really, it is important for us to understand. Just to put a little more statistical, flavor behind this. One of the figures that gets thrown about many times, and there are arguments what exactly the number is, which is the gross improvement ratio, the most popular figure that gets quoted. The relevance of it is actually subject to a lot of questions, but it's an interesting figure to start with, which talks about gross enrollment ratio, which is nothing but the number of people in higher education institutions as a percentage of the total number of people who ought to be. It is really an 18 to 26 age group. We ought to be in higher education institutions. And the number is, depending on who you speak with, is between 12 and 14%. What is clear, 12 and 14 and the argument is not important, but what is clear is that 14% or 12% represents about a little under 15 million students currently studying in Indian institutions. And for India to move up and move to an area where it is 30, the GR 30% plus, which is what the Indian Education Minister has repeatedly stressed is the goal that India has to work towards over the next 10 to 12 years. We really have to add capacity, which again, depending on who you speak with, between 35 and 45 million more students to come and study in education institutions. I'm not again going to argue whether it's 35 or 45 million. The numbers that India has, 10 million is a rounding off error. So we won't argue about that number. But even if you take it as a 35 million, it's an extraordinarily large number. Just to give you a sense of perspective, in the US today, we have less than 20 million students studying in higher education institutions, or thereabouts. So we're really talking about creating twice the capacity that exists in the US. Add that to the Indian capacity over the next 15 years, 12 years. Extraordinarily large numbers. We're not even sure that the conventional approaches of building capacity through infrastructure is really the way to go. It has to be something very, very different. We have to get away from the tyranny of the or, as I often find. India is not a land of the or. You don't speak or, you don't say you do this or you do that. It's a land of the and. You got to do this and that and that and more. And that's really the only way we will be able to solve the problem that exists in India. Now, it is not to say that while all of these things are well understood, while the fact that for a demographic dividend, India is going to have the largest number of youngsters in the world, as you're all familiar with, everybody is quite clear and aware that the increased capacity in education is the only way to go. It isn't necessarily common or understood in the same way how this increase in capacity or the increase in infrastructure is going to be created. The views of the politicians, our education minister is a very dynamic person. The view of the politicians when they make statements is driven by intent. The view of perhaps bureaucrats, especially people in the regulatory sit down and react to these statements is driven through self-preservation. And the view of academics is driven by confusion. And I think we really are in a situation where the perspectives are so diverse that it sometimes becomes extremely difficult to figure out. But what is clear is amidst all of this, there is an enormous amount of opportunity. So if you get to that nugget of time, you really have to dig through. And digging through is a given. You have to just figure out where green and diamonds are. You'll have to figure out the best way to reach them and take them out. And that's really where we are doing what we're gathered here today. So let me just kick the whole thing started. The format is very simple for the next 20 to 25 minutes. We, the panel, are going to be taking some of these questions. It's a very simple thing. What is it that India really needs? Is it possible for US-based entities to collaborate with Indian entities to be able to provide or address those needs? And what exactly needs to be done to be able to translate all of that into an actionable set of facts? It's really the key question to get over here. What we will do is to go through the panelists and we will share some thoughts. We will spare you PowerPoints. My fellow panelists will free to do that. We will not inflict PowerPoints on all of you. But what we will do is to share our thoughts across this framework. And what we would like to do after that for the next 20 minutes or so, which is 11, we really would like to be able to track of those questions. Is that okay? So let me start off with Jane. Jane, you have had a very unique ringside view, so to speak, in India, and then working with an Indian entrepreneur education, and obviously integral part of the US academic system. If you were to take the first question of, given all of this, given the framework that we just spoke about, what are the needs or what are the areas in which there is the biggest amount, the biggest focus in terms of needs that India has?